everyone, welcome back to another Ableton tutorial. It's been a little while. Lovely to be here, lovely to have you here. Welcome all the new commenters, likers, subscribers, musicers. Welcome back, those of you who have been here before. Right, let's get stuck into it. What are we looking at today? Well, as you saw in the title of the video, I want to take a look at Ableton's raw distortion plugin using some kind of Karplus Strong Synthesis kind of approach, and also some modular synthesis type stuff using a bunch of CV to create values, to do lots of wiggity, cool, weird, wonderful things. You heard a bunch of stuff in the introduction. That was all made using the rack that we're going to make today. You can hear something happening in the background. I just added a little bit of drums and a little synth. Let's turn those off. And we're going to make this kind of stuff. Whole bunch of presets here that I made. That's fun. This is fun. What's this? Wow! So, that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to make that. So, let's jump into it. I'm going to delete that. Let's start from scratch. Let's start from the start. Let's talk a little bit about what Karplus Strong Synthesis is. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to also make the first little part of our patch. I'm going to create a little ping. So I'm going to bring in an operator. And what we mean by a ping, it's something, it's a kind of modular synthesis system. It means to just send a tiny, tiny little bit of audio into something. So let's bring, operator. Let's just create a note. I'm going to make it go for the whole bar. And that sounds like this. Right, now we're just going to make it super short. We're going to come to oscillator 1 and make it like that. Let's add a little bit of pitch envelope so it has a little bit of, nice little short little clicky sound. So Karplus Strong Synthesis, what are we talking about? Let's show you, let's explore it. Let's bring in an echo, audio effects echo. Let's turn this up a bit so we can actually hear it. Let's turn that up to 0. There we go. So normally with an echo, of course, we have this set to 8th notes. It's on a grid, and we can hear each individual click, each individual sound or echo, each repeat. What we're going to do is we're going to turn off sync. And what happens is, as we make these shorter and shorter, with a bit more feedback, turn up the feedback a bit. As we make this shorter and shorter, we stop being able to hear the individual clicks, and we hear that as a note. That's because it's now echoing. Well, what note is that? That sounds like something like a G. So maybe that's around 200 hertz per second. So it's now echoing 200 times per second. So we're interpreting that not as each individual plick, but we're interpreting it as a new note, with the plick as kind of a bit like a wavetable, I guess. So if we make this shorter and longer, we get notes. Let's stop that for now. That's essentially the heart of Karplus Strong Synthesis. Is we're not using oscillators to make tones and pitches, but we're using echoes and delays and feedbacks to make pitches. So we get a lot of super interesting and super weird results. So let's look at this. Let's delete that echo, and we're going to do this using Ableton's raw. So I'm going to bring in raw instead of the echo. And again, let's come back here. And you may have explored raw, amazing distortion plugin, but what we're interested in here is the feedback mode section. So we have a few different modes of feedback: time, synced, triplet, and dotted. They're also a type of synced. So synced, of course, means we're locked to a grid, and we have actual notes that we can put in as well. So let's take a quick look at what each of these does. So I'm going to go to time, and I'm going to turn up some feedback, and we hear a similar thing as we heard just before, a kind of Karplus Strong Synthesis. We can change the note by moving this. That's quite a high note, and we can make it a longer note and a lower note. Now we have these other things here. We have a synced, and you can hear that that's effectively just a delay. That's a 16th note delay. The other synced things are triplet delays or dotted delays. And if I come back here to the synced, and we can change the subdivisions to super short, and we get again this kind of Karplus Strong, or we can go quite long here. And then the final one of these is a note mode. And if I turn the feedback all the way up, we can hear like, yeah, we're getting notes. Nice. Okay, so that's at the heart. That's what we're going to explore today. Let's all put these all back to default values. Come back to the time. So the first thing we're going to do is just create a stronger input signal, so it does a bit more stuff, does a bit more interesting stuff. So I'm going to change it from single routing to multi-band. Right, on the low end, we're going to like really push it, say about 60%, and let's use something like the diode clipper on this. So we get you can hear that nice chunky clip. The mid-range, yeah, maybe let's use a digital here because we don't want it getting too crazy. Where's it gone? Digital clip, here we go. And again, we're going to really push that. Again, let's put that up to 60. And the high end, we're going to leave it on the soft shaper because the high end stuff can get kind of gnarly here. So now let's see what happens if we turn up this feedback. Hey. Okay, so we can hear some cool stuff happening. Let's put a limiter at the end of all of that. And actually, I'm going to bring the ceiling right down on the limiter. I think that's quite nice already. So now as I turn this up again, that's fun. And we can create notes with this. Fun. So if I was to do this on note, so we get lots of cool stuff happening there. Again, let's put that back to default. Let's put that on here. Let's just press stop again on that for a second. Right, so let's now build a rack that we could do some cool stuff here with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a shaper and just explore this a little bit. This can go before the limiter, actually. So let's see what happens if we map this shaper to the feedback time. What happens? That's fun already. So as you can see, like we're getting this is repeating every quarter note. If I slow this down to maybe a half note. Yeah, there we go. So you can hear the pitch is following this every half note or every whole bar. Fun. Okay, let's stop that again. So yeah, you can hear that as we're modulating the time here, this is what's giving us these crazy pitch variations. I'm gonna unmap that from there for now because I want to bring in two more of these. Let's just duplicate that, duplicate, and I'm going to combine these into is it the CV utility? I think that's what it's called. Yes, CV utility. So if I come back here, now I can map this to value number 1 here. And we can see it's following this curve, but it's only going up to halfway, so I probably want to make this up to 100%. Yes, there we go. So we're going all the way down and all the way up. Right, now we're going to do the same for this one. Let's change that to 100. And we're going to do the same to this one, and let's change that to 100. And now we're just getting a very extreme version of what we had before. But if I was to, for instance, move this middle one, now you can see it reflected and we're getting a much more interesting shape. And if I was to make this sort of more of a, I don't know, more of a steppy thing as opposed to a curvy thing. That's kind of like a steppy thing now. Let's delete that one. There we go. Shift and click to delete points on these. So now you can see we're getting these like really cool new shapes. So what happens if we map that to the pitch over here? Sorry, to the length of feedback time, which is controlling our pitch. Oh, that's fun. I love this. Now, we can control how much each of these is being added to the CV utility using the depth here. So if we bring these all the way down, now you can hear it stepping through this. It's almost doing the DS array. getting medieval, classical. That's fun. Or if we just bring in this one. Super nice. So you can see how each of these is being added. We can control how much each of them is being added. Let's bring in this one. And now we could make this one. Super fun. And we get super interesting results then when we change the rates against each other. So if this was to be a sort of longer Darius Eero. Now, another thing that we can do is we can offset this amount here, which gives us a whole bunch of really cool effects. So, let's just stop on that for a minute. So, this is really fun. What happens if I want a kind of really short feedbacky sound? So, like more of a, yeah, more of this kind of a thing. But I want to repeat the ping. So let's bring an arpeggiator in, a MIDI effect arpeggiator. We'll just put this in before. Nice. So we're getting 8th note pings now. We can of course, change that to 6th note pings or whatever. So this is also a nice way to be able to sort of control how often we're sending a signal into our whole effect thingy here. Now, I'm going to change these a little bit. Actually, I'm going to make this one upside down. You can do whatever you want here. You can make whatever shapes you like. It's you're adults. You can make your own decisions. I found that you don't want these shapes to be too weird, or at least you sort of want two of them to be kind of normal. This one can be a bit weird. Let's make this one a bit weird. Let's do that. If you want to make these kind of curvy curves, it's option and click to move that around. And let's do something like that. And then this, and make you do something like that and that. Okay, so we've now got one like weirdy flibbity flubbity. Let's make that one that's going to give us some super weird things. Let's actually have a listen to that. So bring the depth down here, and this is this is fun. So yeah, we get all kinds of cool things. Right, let's map some of these to some macros so that we can actually do some more intentional sound design-y stuff. So I'm going to group all of this. This sounds like some super fast techno thing. Right, let's start doing some macros. I'm gonna use all the macros, so plus on here. I think macro rate here, let's map you to macro 9 down the bottom here. Yeah, nice. And the sync on and off, that's going to be really nice. So let's map you to macro 10, and then when the sync is off, I also want to map you to the same synced rate. Nice. Okay. Let's rename this. Sync off on. Let's name this. Ping rate. Ping rate. Nice. Okay. I think this here, the depth on the CV utility, that's kind of like a big master thing. So let's map that to macro 1. Nice. Yeah, okay. Let's map some stuff from these CV shapers. Let's double click on raw and make you a bit smaller for now. I think the two things that are going to be nice, and we're going to use this for each shapers, are rate and depth. So I'm going to map you, actually I'm going to macro 3 and macro 4. Let's rename this. Let's call this loop 1. Same thing for, and let's rename this even, so we can see it. Rename this. And this one. Map you to macro 5, and map you to macro 6. And same thing with this one. Map you to macro 7 and map you to macro 8. Oh, that's right. Cool. I'm liking this. Right, we can sort of double click these. We don't need these so much to be visible anymore. Let's look at some stuff on the raw. Of course, we're gonna, this is this sort of starting time. That's gonna be really nice. Let's map you, let's map this, map you macro 11. So feedback time mode, yep. Let's map you to macro 12. And now we need to make sure that's done for all of the feedback modes. Yes, map you to macro feedback time. Yep. And then also for the note, map you to macro 12. Feedback time. Nice. I'm going to go in here on the mid-range and change this to a comb filter. I think that's going to be fun. That's just off screen. You can't see it, just down there is a comb filter. And so a comb filter gives us lots of these little little notches. It's like a bunch of notch filters put together. And I'm actually going to connect this CV utility also to the comb filter. Comb filter frequency. Yeah, that's a bit much. Let's bring that down in range. I think that's going to give us some super fun results as well. I want to map this to the feedback time here. We're on time mode. Sorry, feedback mode. Oh, that is changing that already. Nice. Oh, I don't want, what have I done? I don't want that. I don't want that on feedback time. Oh, I need a feedback amount. Map you to macro 13. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah. So then I think this comb resonance is going to be nice to map to macro 14. That's going to give us some super interesting results. I'm going to put a utility right at the end of this whole thing, just sort of as a master volume. Utility in here. Map you to macro 16. Let's just constrain the range of that a bit. Constrain that range a bit. Hit map. Let's say maximum output is 5. So comb amount. This is fun. Super fun. Okay, we still got a couple more macros. Let's do a little bit more sound designy stuff here. Actually, I think I just want to put like a like an OTT, multiband dynamics, over the top OTT up in here. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's just going to make things sort of consolidated. Right, so one macro here. What I'm going to do here is actually give us a couple of sound options. So obviously, putting in a different sound is also going to give us some really cool and different results. So if I turn off the raw for now, so now you can just hear the ping again. Now, if I was to change this sound slightly, even just make it like sort of like this. Now turn the raw back on. So we're getting some super different results. So let's go back to this ping. Let's group that. Command G, open up the chain list. I'm just going to duplicate it. And yeah, I'm going to turn off the pitch envelope, but I am going to make this go longer. There. Maybe let's pitch it up. Yeah, there. So it's a bit more different. Yep, lovely. Okay, I'm going to also bring in instruments DS snare. Let's make this like super short, super snappy. Yeah. That's already quite nice. Again, it's just a different kind of ping, a different kind of input into the system. Let's also use the DS kick. Why not? Nice. Envelope. Yeah. Bit shorter decay. Nice. And let's also let's bring in the DS FM. Let's add a little FME input. Yeah, that's already quite nice. Yeah. Bit more tone. Less tone. Bit more feedback. More tone. Oh, no, that's too. Yeah, this is nice. Okay. Is that basically where it started? I think that is kind of where it started. Okay, let's put those on a chain selector. So let's chain here. This one is going to go out to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Select all, distribute ranges equally. And let's map that to macro 15. Turn all of these back on. Did that map? Why didn't that map? Undo. I mapped it somewhere else. Oh yeah, let's map to macro 1 here, and then now I map this to macro 15 over here. Aha, there we go. Yeah, nice. Let's constrain this range. We only want it to go up to 4, 0 to 4. There we go. So now this is going to cycle through our sounds. Lovely. Let's turn them all back on. Nice. That's too long. That can be shorter, that one. Where have you gone here? Little bit more release. Yeah, this is nice. Okay. Next one. A snare. Nice. Kick. Yes, nice. And FM. Okay. We can now actually, we can just shut all of that. Down. Shut you. Don't even need that. Nice. Right, let's turn the raw back on. What's going on over here? Nice. Let's try some of these different sounds. Fun. Where's our feedback time mode? Yeah. I know what we're going to do is we're also going to map this offset. This was fun to play with. Let's map you to macro 2. Right. I'm going to right-click on the output and exclude that from randomizations. And now I'm just going to hit random and make some presets. Fuck. What's going on? That's kind of insane. Oh. Oh, that's fun. What happens? Oh yeah, okay. Oh, that's nice. Right, I'm going to save that as a preset. So I'm going to hit the little save button here. Save, add new. Clicky. Right, let's do some more. So as you can see, you get some super cool results super quickly. And it's so much fun to play around with. Just dialing stuff in, exploring what happens. Patreon members will be able to download this entire set, including the rack from the start with all of the presets that I made. Hope you got something from this. Hope you enjoy Karplus Stronging with some raw. Yeah, thanks for being here. Big shout out. See you next time.